I'm Dr. Kanade. Today we will continue our discussion about how the call and return instructions work, how the subroutine gets executed, and what makes it come back to the original location. Actually, we discussed this yesterday also, but uh, it is a quite complicated topic, so that's why I am repeating it along with certain animated contents. So I hope that uh, it will be clearer to you after today's lecture. Okay, so let's see. Please, uh, I suggest that you note down each and every step that is happening. Okay, I have made these slides to show you step by step execution of the call and return instructions. So I suggest that whatever I am talking about and whatever you are seeing on the screen, note down that. If you want, you can put step 1, step 2 like that also, or just write note down whatever I'm explaining. Okay, so let's see. Let's say this is our main program. Okay, today I have written it in some different format, in address and instruction format. This is for explanation purpose. When you're going to write your programs, assembly language programs, in examinations, you don't need to write the addresses. Okay, you don't need to write the addresses. This is for purely for your understanding purpose that I have written the address instruction form. Okay, okay, now let's say we have started the microcontroller and this is our main program. So when we start the microcontroller, at the start of the program, this will be the, here you can note down, this will be the status of our stack. You know, as I have been talking about, we have separate stack memory, right? We have separate stack memory which is 31 locations. We have 31 locations stack memory, and at each location we can write 21 bits, right? That is the stack memory available in PKTNF 458. It is a separate section in the microcontroller. It is not part of program memory. It is not part of data memory. Okay, it is a separate section. Okay, so here, see, STKPTR means stack pointer. Okay, the stack pointer, as I have said, it is a 5-bit value, or 5-bit. It holds the address of the top of stack. Okay, so when we start the program, means when we start the computer, when we start the microcontroller, at that time stack pointer will be all zeros, 00000. Okay, and at this particular location there is no value stored. Someone has switched on its mic. Please please turn off your mic because you can hear some noise. It is disturbing others. Varsha. Varsha, turn off your mic. Switch off your mic. Okay. Okay. So at the start, as you can see here, when the microcontroller starts, stack pointer value is 0, and at that particular location, no value can be stored. Okay. Nothing is stored at that particular location. Now, in the main program, as we know, program starts executing one by one, and let's say a call instruction is written at the particular location X. X is the address, and the instruction at that particular address is call sub1. Okay, what is this sub1? This is sub1 is a, this sub1 particularly is a label of subroutine 1. Okay, subroutine 1 is written at starting from address M. Okay, so what we want actually is, when we are in the main program and when we have written this call sub1, we expect now that the control goes here. Now how will this happen? That is the question. And basically the overall idea at all the time is, if you change the contents of program counter, if you load any address in the program counter, execution will start from that address. Okay, that is the basic idea. प्रोग्राम काउंटर मध्ये तुम्ही जी व्हॅल्यू टाकाल, जो ऍड्रेस टाकाल, त्या ऍड्रेस पासून पुढचं एक्झिक्युशन सुरू होणार आहे. So ideally what we want is program counter should now be loaded with value or with address M. But it is not the only thing that we want. It is not that we want only to go to M and execute there. We also want that it comes back after execution, and that is possible because of the stack. So when this call instruction comes up in the program, what happens is the stack pointer, you can see here what has happened. I will show you again. Okay, it was like this. So when, please note down at this particular location. Okay, what happens is the stack pointer increments. Stack pointer was 0, so now it becomes 1. Okay, stack pointer always points to the top of stack. So top of stack is now this. The value, which is actually the address of next instruction of call is written at X. So the next instruction will be written at address X plus 4, because call is going to take 4 locations. It is a 4-byte instruction. So this X plus 4 is the address of this particular next instruction. That address goes to the stack. Remember the sequence. First, the stack pointer increments. I have written it here also. Stack pointer increments by 1. So now since it was 0, now it becomes 1. Okay, and this value, the address of the next instruction, goes to the top of stack. Means here on this stack X plus 4 is written. Okay, and PC becomes M. M is the address of this sub 1, right? M is the address of this sub 1. So PC now has M. Now because PC has M, after this particular call instruction, execution starts from this particular end. Okay, is it clear until this point? If you have questions, you can unmute and ask. Okay, so this is how we go from main program to the subroutine program, and it starts execution from here. But now let's say there is another subroutine, sub 2, and we call, yes.
सर परत एकदा सांगा ना, ते तुमचं माईक जरा हे झालं होतं, त्यामुळे कळलं नाही ते.
Okay, see, I will go back. If in the main program, at the start we can see that the stack pointer value is 0, and at this on the stack nothing is written. Okay, when there is a call instruction in the main program, what actually we want is, we want to go to sub 1. We want to go here. Okay, we want to go to sub 1. The address of sub 1 is M, and we also want to make sure that we will come back to this original location here. We will come back here after this particular subroutine ends. So what we are going to do is, the stack pointer first increments by 1, so that now before it was 0, now it becomes 1, and at that particular address in the stack we write the address of the next instruction, X plus 4. So that address is written on the stack. Okay, and PC is loaded with the value of address of sub 1. Sub 1, I have shown the address as M, so PC now becomes M, and that's why after this particular instruction, after this call sub 1 instruction, execution starts from here. Okay, now let's say there is another subroutine which we are calling from the subroutine 1. There is subroutine 2, we are calling from subroutine 1. So this instruction call sub 2 is written here. So what we want now is control goes from here to here and it start executing. So what shall happen? Again, the similar kind of thing. Okay. Whatever has happened in this case, similar thing should happen here. Means what? And exactly the similar kind of thing happens whenever there is a call instruction. Also note down that call and rcall work in the same way. Okay. Call and rcall. We have seen both these instructions. Call is 4-byte instruction in which we can go to anywhere in the program memory space, whereas rcall is a relative call where the subroutine location should be within certain range. Anyway, so when we are now faced with call sub 2, the same thing should happen. That is, first, now see here, okay, at this part until this point, this was the contents of the stack. When call sub 2 instruction comes up, the stack pointer again increments by 1, and this value, the next value of the call, goes to the top of stack. Means at this 00010 location in the stack, n plus 4 is written. N is the instruction here, n is the address of this call, n plus 4 will be the address of the next instruction. Why again n plus 4? Because call itself is going to take 4 locations. Okay, so n plus 1, n plus 2, n plus 3, right? n plus 1, n plus 2, n plus 3. 4 locations will be required for call instruction. So whatever the next instruction is, that is at n plus 4. So this n plus 4 address goes to the next location on the stack. Okay, and then PC is loaded with value y, which is the address of subroutine 2. Okay, now since PC has content y, means the address y, execution will start from here. This is how we go to the subroutine 2. Is it clear until this point? How we are going to any subroutine? Going to any location is typically simple, because just writing the value of that address to PC will take you to that location. Okay, but we are making the provision for coming back by using this stack. Okay, this particular thing in the stack is to make the provision for coming back. Okay, on the next next we will see how it will come back to the original location. Okay, so this is how we are going to the subroutine 2 from subroutine 1. Okay, remember we are going to subroutine 2 from subroutine 1. Now this is how we have went to subroutine 2. Let's say whatever the instructions here are, they will be executed one by one as usual, and then this return instruction comes up. Okay, return instruction of sub 2. Note down, it is about return instruction of subroutine 2. As we have been talking about, this particular stack, this stack is like a you can say it is like a stack of dishes. If you want to take out one dish, you have to take the top dish first, then the next, then the next. Whichever goes in the start, you can take it out at the last, right? This is last in, first out. Last in, first out, or first in, last out. Okay, this is the way of functioning of the stack. So now when this particular return instruction comes in the program, what happens is, note down again on the stack. Okay, please pay your attention at this particular line here. Okay, please pay attention on this line. What happens when the return comes? Okay, that value written on the stack is taken into, see, that value here it was n plus 4, see here it was n plus 4, that is removed from the stack. It is called popping. It is removed from the stack and it goes to PC. See, it has gone to PC. N plus 4 which was written here, it went to PC. Okay, and stack pointer is reduced or decremented by 1. Both things are equally important. Okay, first sequence, note down the sequence. The value on the stack goes to program counter first, and then stack pointer is decremented. So now stack pointer is 00001. Okay, now since program counter contains n plus 4, this is the address here. So after this return instruction, execution will start from here, right? Is it clear how the execution starts from n plus 4 now? Because we have taken n plus 4 from the stack to the program counter. This is what the function of return is. Okay, it is the function of return instruction. Yes, any question?
हा सर, काल सांगितलेलं ना तेच व्यवस्थित कळलं. आज खूप कन्फ्युज होतोय.
उलट आज जास्त सांगतोय मी तुम्हाला, कारण आज मी स्टॅक सुद्धा साधं दाखवतोय तुम्हाला.
आज जास्त कन्फ्युज होतोय.
आता याच्यात काही जणांना काल समजलं नाही, काहींना आज. You can keep yesterday's discussion also. It is the same thing. But yesterday I did not talk much about the stack and stack pointer. So this is in addition. This you can consider as additional information to yesterday's lecture. This is okay. Stack is also important because in orals you may be asked about the contents of stack at any instance of time. जेव्हा तुम्हाला ओरलला तुम्ही बसाल तेव्हा तुम्हाला स्टॅक बद्दलही बोलावं लागणार आहे फक्त. आणि सी, तुम्ही रिटर्न परत येताय हे कसं होतं, ऑटोमॅटिकली का इथंच येणार आहे याचं एक्सप्लेनेशन कसं देणार तुम्ही? या ठिकाणी जे परत यायचंय तुम्हाला सबरूटीन 2 मधून, ही सी रिटर्न इन्स्ट्रक्शन हिअर अँड रिटर्न इन्स्ट्रक्शन हिअर, व्हॉट इज द डिफरन्स? Are you getting my question? सबरूटीन 1 च्या एंडला सुद्धा रिटर्न लिहिलेलं असणार आहे फक्त, आणि सबरूटीन 2 च्या एंडला सुद्धा फक्त रिटर्नच लिहिलेलं असणार आहे. देयर विल नॉट बी एनी ऍडिशनल पॅरामीटर टू रिटर्न. मग ऑटोमॅटिकली ह्या रिटर्न मुळे इथं का नाही जात आहे किंवा या रिटर्न मुळे इथं का नाही जात आहे असा प्रश्न जर आला तर कसं सांगणार तुम्ही? I am trying to explain you that thing, that when we are using this return, the return instruction will take the latest value on the stack, and latest value was because of this second call. That's why it is coming to this particular location. Okay, now when this second return comes, again the similar thing will happen. This x plus 4 will be removed from the stack and it will go to PC. And since it is x plus 4 in the PC, execution will come back here and execution will start from start in the main program. Okay, basically the bottom line is this particular stack thing, actually it is like this. Stack is from generally it is written from bottom up, from 00000 to 11111, and we keep on writing values like this. And while reading, we can start removing the values. Like first this will be removed, then this will be removed, then this and this, right? For writing, we will go from 0 to onwards, and from while removing, we will come from top to bottom. This is how we are going to write or remove values from the stack. Okay, so what is to keep in mind is when we are using the call instruction, this sequence you should note down. Stack pointer is incremented, then top of stack is returned, the value of the next instruction is returned to top of stack, and PC is loaded with the address of the subroutine. And when return is executed, PC is loaded with the top of stack, and then stack pointer is reduced or decremented. This is what you should remember. Note down these steps. Actually, I have already given these steps when we discussed about that call and return instructions. See here, during a call instruction, stack pointer is first incremented, then the location pointed by stack pointer is returned to the contents of PC. Okay, so this is how call and return instructions will work, and this is how the automatic returning back to whichever has called, whoever has called that subroutine, the subroutine will automatically give back control to the caller program. That's why I use the word caller, since this subroutine in this case was called from subroutine 1, so control comes back to subroutine 1 again. जिथून त्याला कॉल गेलेला असेल त्याच्या पुढच्या इंस्ट्रक्शनला तो ऑटोमॅटिकली येणार आहे. ओके, सो दिस इज दी बेसिकली दॅट यू शुड कीप इन माइंड. ओके, सबरूटीनला जो कॉल करेल त्याच्याकडे तो परत नेईल. ओके, क्लियर आहे? क्वेश्चंस, एनी क्वेश्चंस अगेन? आता याच्यात एक ऍडिशनल गोष्ट तुम्हाला सांगतो की देयर आर ऑल्सो इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स कॉल्ड पॉप अँड पुश. पॉप आणि पुश या दोन इन्स्ट्रक्शन काय करतात तर पुश इन्स्ट्रक्शन कॅन राईट समथिंग ऑन टू द स्टॅक अँड पॉप इन्स्ट्रक्शन कॅन रिमूव्ह समथिंग फ्रॉम द स्टॅक. Okay, so these two instructions should not be used. Remember, these instructions should not be used in regular practice. These are for very advanced programming where you know by yourself, you can track by yourself who is calling which function and where we want to go. Okay, if pop comes up in here, then this return will go to the previous caller. So that's why pop and push should not be used in general. Okay. Okay. Anyway, this is you will not come across these instructions in any of our programs, so you should not worry about that. Okay. So this is the completion of our second unit. If you still have any questions, you can ask, or we will move on to our next slide.
सर एक क्वेश्चन आहे, प्रोग्राम मध्ये कॉल इन्स्ट्रक्शन आपण किती वेळा म्हणजे वापरू शकतो की जेणेकरून स्टॅक पॉइंटरला काही प्रॉब्लेम होणार?
You can see from here, you guess from here how many times can we call. You see what I have, see this is what 11111 म्हणजे किती? किती? 11111. The value is 31. Right?
Yes.
So how many times can we use call instruction? Only maximum 31 times. Okay, because with every call we are going to write something on the stack. Okay, so maximum 31 call instructions can happen. So actually it is not only call instruction. Okay, maximum 31 in combination of call, rcall, and interrupts. Interrupts also are going to be using the stack, because in interrupt same thing will happen. What same thing? Using of the stack, writing this value to the stack. Same thing is going to happen in interrupt calling also. The only thing is that calling is automatic based on interrupts. So in combination of call, actually that is call and rcall. These are instructions, and in general it is said calls. So totally 31 times we can use the stack, because otherwise, see, from 000 it has become 1, 2, 3 up to 31. And when we try to write something again onto the stack, what happens is there was one bit in the stack pointer register. If you have noted, STKFUL, stack full, means it will indicate the stack is full and you cannot use now the stack. That error will come back. Okay, maximum you can have 31 calls. Okay, but okay, now actually it is a little bit complicated when you say 31. If you count this as call 1, this as call 2, okay, and then here you have again call 3, okay, call 4, call 5. So actually this is not call 3, this is still again call 2, because this call has ended. Okay, this call has ended when it returned. When I am saying 31 calls, those are nested calls, means like this: call 1, call 2, call 3, call 4, like this. If you go on without returning, you can write 31 calls. When you return back, it automatically gets cancelled out. So you again get availability of 1 call. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.